I, 35 female, am not sure if I want to be married to my wonderful husband, 38 male, anymore. Sad face. What do I do? I hate writing this because it makes it feel so much more real, but here goes. I, 35F, have been married to my husband, 38M, for 12 years, together for 14. We have 2 wonderful children, 8F and 5M, and have built a great life together. I have no complaints about the man I am married to. He is loyal, honest, a hard worker. He does everything for us and adores both me and our children. I have never had to question his faithfulness. He's never been the slightest bit abusive. He keeps up with his end of the housework, plus more, if I'm honest. He is not perfect, but he is an amazing husband, father, and friend. However, I have not been attracted to him for years and find myself wondering if I'm in love. I adore the person he is. He is my absolute best friend. But I often find myself fantasizing about being alone. I don't think about dating or being with other men. I'd be fine being single. I have thought about divorce so many times in the past 4 years or so, but always pushed those thoughts aside for our family. They've become more frequent lately and I'm not sure how to handle it. Yes, we go on dates frequently and try to find activities that we enjoy together. I have been pushing myself to be intimate with him more in the hopes that I will overcome all these feelings, but I just find myself not turned on in the slightest. It has nothing to do with his physical appearance. He is very handsome and takes care of himself. I just am not into it. I have started therapy individually to help process these feelings as well as deal with past personal trauma. I have also set up an appointment for marriage counseling for us, although I'm not sure if that will do any good since we don't really have any problems to talk through. Our relationship is great and we rarely argue. We agree on a lot and take care of our home and children as a solid team. This would be so much easier if he wasn't so great. I despise myself for saying I am considering divorcing such a wonderful man. It absolutely breaks my heart to think that I'd be hurting him and hurting our children. I'm not saying that I will divorce, but I have certainly considered it multiple times. I have no real reason to leave, other than unhappiness on my part. I know he'd go out of his way to try to make me happy, however I don't think there's anything that can be done on his end. I am prepared for the awful comments I'll receive here. Just curious if anyone has been in a similar situation and how you've dealt with it. I'm so torn between spending the rest of my life sacrificing my own happiness for that of my husband, best friend and children, or risking it all to find myself. Too long did not read. Been married for 12 years with 2 kids and a great relationship but feels like I have fallen out of love. How do I proceed? Passion fades. A reliable partner that you can stand to live with is a fucking treasure. The grass is not greener on the other side, it's greenest where watered. You talk about being a great functional team, but it sounds like you've become victim to monotony. Start doing spontaneous things and find non-sexual ways of connecting intimately with your partner. One of my faves is a candlelit shower together. Wash each other. Talk. Water the grass. The flowers will return. 2 hearts. What is it that makes you think your husband is the source of your unhappiness? What things in your life would be improved if you were to divorce? What things in your life would you regret if you were divorced? My personal opinion is that you will really regret it if you leave what you have in order to find yourself. Not sure what you are expecting to find, but I can only imagine you will find that you miss what you had. Maybe you need more alone time, me time or something like that. You find him attractive, you're just not attracted to him. He's a great guy but you're unhappy. I'm sorry but it's all in your head. You likely married too young and you are having a bit of FOMO. The in love feeling is so much less important than the security and peace you have with your current partner. Plus the in love feeling can be worked on. You're just talking yourself out of him. Emo, you will really regret leaving him. Finding a good man is not easy. You have no idea how many toxic men are out there. You will likely find lots of in love relationships. It will be exciting if you leave, but you will find out the hard way that good relationships are really, really hard to find. This is very, very normal, at least in my observations. So at least find comfort in that. It's good that you're proactive about addressing this, and the only advice I have is what you already set up: therapy and marriage counseling. The latter will help as the counselor will help you communicate your feelings to your husband. The former will get to the bottom of why you feel that way and what you can do to handle it. Don't divorce. Don't start the process. This is, at this point, a rough patch. You have to see if you can get through it first. My 27F boyfriend, 26M, called me not tight, completely unwarranted. How do I move past this? We were joking around at first saying we cool, we tight. When all of a sudden he gets serious and says, "Oh, you're not tight at all." I was super upset. For one, not only did this come out completely out of the blue, but two, this is something I can't change. I couldn't help but cry in front of him. He tried to reassure me that he didn't mean it in a bad way, and that the way it fits is not too tight and just right. As he said, he's had an ex where it was so tight that he couldn't even put it in, and when he did, it hurt and wasn't good. Apparently this was her relaxed too, so it's not like she was squeezing, clenching. I'm not sure what to do with this information now. We normally have a very regular and good sex life, and have had no issues. But now that I know this, I don't even want to go near him. Too long did not read. Boyfriend said I'm not tight but still feel great. How can I navigate past this? Is this a common thought guys have? Sad face? This is incredibly disrespectful. As a bloke, if my partner randomly blurted out, "Oh, your dick isn't big at all," and compared me to a previous, bigger partner, I don't think I'd be able to move past it, even if they then clarified that the sex with the bigger partner was painful. Okay. So first, that was a shitty thing of him to say. No need to compare sexual performances of his exes to you at all, let alone so directly. Is this something that's normal for him? Comparing you to his exes or saying rude things unprompted? One time while we were in the middle of having sex, I did a Kegel and asked my husband if he could feel it. He could, but said he was once with someone who Kegeled during sex and clenched him so hard he couldn't move. Again, he said this while we were having sex. It was about 25 years ago and it still bothers me. I've definitely mentioned it over the years and he's apologized a million times, but it's still taking occasional space in my brain. I have never and would never compare his penis to another man's that I've been intimate with. I have no idea why some men don't think before they speak. I don't have any words of wisdom to help you. But I did want to share so that you knew you weren't alone. I was thinking about how it's weird that you say I'm not tight because my exes never mentioned it, although all of them were bigger than you. I don't mean that in a bad way. Sex is great with you. No, really, it is. The big ones hurt too much anyway. I love you. You're supposed to be loose when you're enjoying it? Why the hell is he comparing your vagina to his ex's? And to randomly bring it up but not mean to hurt you, means he thinks about it and it's enough of an issue for him to say anything at all. I'd personally dump that loser. I don't put up with anyone having an issue with my body, and I sure as hell wouldn't put up with my boyfriend comparing me to his ex like that. How do I 36F tell my partner 45M that he's tone deaf? So I, 36 female, majored in music, I sing, play several instruments and love live concerts and music events. My partner, 45 male, is completely and utterly tone deaf, but he insists on singing along, very loudly and off-key to every single song on the radio, every single song at every concert to the point I cannot hear the actual artist I paid to listen to. He thinks he's a great singer. In fact, he likes to sing at me when he does this, as though he's being romantic, like singing me the lyrics. This probably sounds like such a petty things, but guys, it's bad. Like nails on a chalkboard. Like cats making love. Just no concept whatsoever of pitch or volume or tone. It makes me cringe. It makes me want to cover my ears. It makes me want to yell at him to shut up. Of course I won't do these things. But how can I get him to stop without hurting his feelings? We've been together about 5 years and he's done it the whole time, and at first I genuinely thought he was like doing a silly voice to be funny and making it sound horrendous on purpose to get me to laugh, but then I realized oh, this is his real voice. OMG. It's gotten so bad I genuinely get anxiety when we get in the car because I know I'm in for a grating concert of high-pitched screeching the entire way to where we are going. Help loudly crying. Sometimes, you can let him be joyful and sing. And sometimes, just say this is a vibe song. What is the actual problem? Is it that he's tone deaf, or that he's constantly making loud annoying noises? Like, would it actually improve the situation if he still loudly sang everywhere you went but did it 50% better? I think that rather than telling him he's tone deaf, you need to practice telling him when you'd like some peace and quiet, during car rides, while your favorite artist is singing, etc. Your best bet here is to go after volume. I would not try and stop him from singing. That will build some resentment for obvious reasons. But talk to him instead about toning it down so you can hear the actual artist. You know, he probably realizes he's not good at singing. But since this has been tolerated for years by you, he probably thinks that you are the one person that likes his voice and enjoys his singing. The one person he can express that with. If my partner told me I was a terrible singer, I'd just be like, I know. And keep singing. Now if she asked me to cut it back so she could enjoy the music, I'd respect that. By our age, you shouldn't have to dance around such an inconsequential topic. One of the best parts about hitting my 40s is that I give no fucks what anyone thinks about me, and I absolutely respect people who are straightforward and tell me what they want, need, rather than what I can't do. Wow. I disagree that you have to suffer through this for the rest of your life because you're in love. Both my wife and I are musical people, and neither of us have a problem telling the other if we just want to enjoy a song without the other singing along. I also have no problem telling my wife I just want to ride in the car without talking because I spent an entire work shift being yapped at, and she does the same. Someone mentioned it depends on how sensitive he is, but in the end, hopefully you find a way to get yourself a little more peace. Yes, he should be able to sing and enjoy himself, but it doesn't have to be at your expense forever. There are two unrelated things here. He is tone deaf. It is just a matter of fact, so you can tell it to him matter-of-factly. He likes to sing. Let him. How would you feel if someone told you you must not sing? You just do not do to anyone, much less to someone you love. When you love someone, you love them as they are, including those things you view as shortcomings. But you never know when you will have some annoying guest's winking face. My husband, 31M, called me 30F fat and lazy. I can't let it go. Am I being too sensitive? My husband and I have 3 children together. We have been together for almost 10 years. He works full-time, as so do I. I also own my own cleaning business on the side. My house is never filthy, but it can look lived in at times. Sometimes I need a break. So I just thought that I would make Sunday my cleaning, organizing day. I didn't tell him what my plans were. I didn't feel as if it was necessary to do so. Although I wish I did. He woke up Sunday morning and he came back in the room. I was still asleep. He woke me up. Instead of telling me good morning, he decided to yell at me. He told me how the house was a mess and that I needed to clean. I was pretty cool about it first. I said, I understand that I need to pick up. But dang, I don't even get a good morning or nothing. Exclamation mark quote. He said, I'm constantly picking things up every day and I'm tired of it. You're just going to lay there all day and be fat and lazy. It has been 2 weeks now and I just can't get over it. I know I'm not the smallest female, but I had recently lost weight. He knows how I have been trying to keep up with myself and make healthier choices. I used to weigh 120 pounds. I pole vaulted and played soccer and was doing CrossFit before I had kids. Very active. A few months ago I weighed 178 pounds. As of today I'm 152 pounds. I'm short as well. I struggled with the way I have looked for a long time. He knows this. And he really said that to me. I'm upset, and the worst part about it, his excuse was that I took it out of context. I am just over it all, and I think it's pushed me to feel as if I need to move on. Am I being extreme? Guess I'm looking for validation. No, you're not extreme. This is a terrible way to treat your partner. Your husband sucks. You're not being extreme. Your husband is being extreme. You both work full-time. Why, it's your exclusive responsibility to clean to the house. Or let me guess, he believes that it's your duty to cook, clean, childcare, and his duty to be a man. I highly doubt this is an isolated incident. So you work 2 jobs to his one and he calls you lazy? What value does he add to your life? I would question why, bearing in mind you both work full-time, that household chores are solely your responsibility? Instead of doing a bit of tidying up himself like an adult, he chose to wake you up and insult you. As you probably don't hear it from him, congratulations on your weight loss, slightly smiling face, but on a serious note, his behavior is atrocious. Marriage is meant to be a partnership where burdens are shared. You're totally in the right to be upset with him in that situation. Regardless of the cleaning, which his response to was also alarming, he threw in the word, fat, specifically to hurt you. It had nothing to do with the situation, he was just being an asshole. Now when it comes to moving on, you obviously have to think about your family. If it's not a pattern of behavior he normally exhibits, then you should try to work out what caused that reaction. However, if this is just one of many instances like this, I think you should consider moving on. Do you want your children to grow up thinking that's how they should be talked to by their partner? Go on strike. Don't cook or clean for him. Do only laundry for you and the kids. Cook only for them. Don't pay for anything of his. Separate your finances and prepare to leave. You will feel so much better as a single divorced mom rather than a single married mom. Less work too.